In this video, I am ranking the 10 most powerful Pokemon trainers in the anime, and I am choosing them based upon how many battles they've won, how strong their Pokemon are, and what techniques they use in battle. Starting with my number 10 pick is Alon. Why Alon? Because he's freaking awesome, dude. You may be saying to yourself, why is Alon at number 10 when he's taken down 20 trainers, including a bunch of Mega Pokemon and Ash? Simple reason, because there are stronger trainers out there. Alon may have won many battles on screen from the Mega Evolution side series, in which Alon faced very strong opponents with Mega Evolution. And although this does make him a stronger trainer, compare that to a champion. Champions have to face the strongest trainers of their region and maintain their title. Imagine how many battles they have to go through just to become a champion. Plus, Alon even tried to defeat an Elite Four member and got defeated, which even if he did make it past all the Elite Four, yes, I know he defeated Malva, he would still have to defeat the champion. And from what we know, Alon isn't a champion. Still, this doesn't mean that he will not deserve a spot on the list. Alon has an incredible battle record of 87% with 20 wins and 3 losses. He even went head-to-head with Steven Stone, who, as we know, is a super powerful trainer. Not to mention, he also encountered many legendary Pokemon, including Mega Rayquaza, Primal Groudon, and Kyogre, and of course, that weird Zygarde thing. Alon also beat Ash twice, once before the Kalos League, and one in the finals. Beating Ash in the anime, especially when he had Ash Greninja and Goodra on the same team, makes you automatically a good trainer in my book. And I mean, come on, look at this dude. He just looks like a strong trainer. In the 9th spot, we got Diantha. Diantha only beat Alon by a little bit, but she's a really tough trainer, as we see when Ash was battling her in XY. She legit commands her Pokemon to dodge without even saying a word, which makes it super hard to land a shot. The only reason I put her above Alon is that she has more experience with Mega Evolution, she has more battling experience, and she's a champion. Although I'd love to see them fight each other, Diantha would win since she has the leverage of having more battles and tactics than Alon in my opinion. I also think if Alon can't defeat all the Elite Four members, then I doubt he can defeat a champion. It's also probably weird that a champion is only 9th on the list, but you have to watch till the end to find out who are the best trainers in the Pokemon anime. That brings us to the 8th spot on the list, which goes to Brandon. Brandon is one of my few non-champions on this list that could actually be one of the best trainers out there. You know a trainer is strong when they own 3 legendary Pokemon, being Regirock, Registeel, and Regice. Like, he's got a full team of Regis. You can't get any better than that. It even took Ash 3 tries to finally defeat Brandon, and that's only because he used one of his Regis, being Regice. Can you picture if Brandon hadn't used all 3 of his Regis? There would be no chance of Ash winning the match. Brandon also destroyed Paul and Sinnoh. Paul's Pokemon couldn't even KO one of Brandon's Regis, but to be fair, he did use all 3 of them in a cycle. Even still, we have yet to see the full rematch of Paul versus Brandon because Pokemon did say that one day they will rematch. Maybe we'll see it in Journeys. You never know. The number 7th spot goes to Tobias. Yup. Freaking Hackerman 9000 made it onto the list, but is it all that of a surprise? I mean, as puzzling as Tobias is as a character, because we know little about him, he's still one of the toughest trainers out there. My man's got 2 legendaries and 4 other Pokemon we have yet to see. The only reason we got to see his 2 legendaries in the first place is that Ash was the first one to knock out his Darkrai, which forced Tobias to show his next Pokemon, and what do you know, it's a Latios. You know, Ash, now would be a good time to use one of your legendary Pokemon that you caught. Oh wait, you don't have any. Because you don't freaking catch any legendary Pokemon, even though you've seen like every single one. But props to Ash for taking out one of Tobias's legendaries. I mean, this man's doing something right. Tobias is like that one kid that you face in the Pokemon games that only uses legendaries on his team because he doesn't actually know how to play the game, so he just uses the highest stat Pokemon. Couldn't be me, guys. For real though, legendaries in the games are just like legendaries in the anime. They're both pretty OP, but a lot more so in the anime. The one thing holding Tobias back from getting any higher on this list is that he wasn't powerful enough to become the Sinnoh champion. And I know this for a fact since we see in Unova that Cynthia is still the champion. Even so, Tobias and his Darkrai would be a nightmare for anyone to go against. See what I did there? Nightmare? The 6th spot goes to our boy Ash. Let's go. As Ashy Boy is 6th place. I know, not what everyone was expecting. Some probably didn't even expect Ash to even be on this list, and others probably want him to be first. But I've chosen quite carefully, and with my reason being, whoever is below Ash on this list are the ones who I think Ash is weaker against or can't beat. And whoever is higher on this list, Ash can beat. For example, I think Ash can beat Alon, Diantha, and Brandon, and Tobias. Sort of. I know Tobias is kind of a wild card here, but you get the point. I think Ash deserves 6th place. After all, he's dedicated 20 plus years of his life to catching and battling Pokemon to become the ultimate trainer. Do I think he's the ultimate trainer? Well, no. Not yet at least. We will find out later if Ash wins the World Championships to really see his full strength. Then I'll probably have to edit this list. For now though, Ash stays here. He is one of the most interesting battlers in the Pokemon anime, using the weirdest strategies ever to win matches. So not only does he train and have powerful Pokemon, he also has a unique battling style that is almost impossible to replicate because it's different every time. In a sense, Ash's battling style is he has no battling style. And that, people, is what makes Ash one of the best trainers. Not to mention his awesome bond with his Mons. He isn't your typical Pokemon trainer who starts rumbling up those levels to get the best performance. No. He's the dude to level up his Pokemon's affection to create the ultimate trust and faith in his Pokemon. I'm telling you now that this goes a long way in the anime, as we see, or else Ash wouldn't be as strong. Although Ash has a big heart and a big head when it comes to battling, in the most famous words of Brock, his brain is still the same size. Number 5 goes to Lance. Lance, however, has a pretty big brain. This is relevant since he is commonly referred to as the best dragon-type trainer. Lance is also the champion of Kanto, the champion of the Indigo Elite Four, and is also a member of the Pokemon G-Men Detective Organization. He plays a lot of different things, and that ties in with how skillful Lance is as a battler. One of his first appearances is when he's trying to rescue a shiny red Gyarados from Team Rocket, which Lance ends up catching the shiny red Gyarados to save it. I know, mind blown. He caught a flippin' shiny Gyarados, but not just any shiny Gyarados. This Pokemon then becomes his ace battler, since we see him use it against Leon in Journeys, and boy, that was an intense battle. If anyone is mad that I put Lance above Ash, which basically makes Lance stronger, it's because of that battle with Leon. Lance went head to head with Leon in a battle and almost won. Ash also tried to defeat Leon, and well, didn't go quite as well. Obviously, it was a little different considering the circumstances being Pikachu's first time Gigantamaxing, and it was a little unfair, but you get my point. Lance has another spectacular Pokemon that you might know, of which is, of course, Dragonite. Unlike Gyarados, who is his ace, Dragonite is pretty much his go-to Mon. He used it to battle Team Rocket and to capture Gyarados. We also see him fly around with it a lot in this series, hence why I say go-to. Number 4 is Raihan. Raihan, I hope I'm saying that correctly, is probably the coolest trainer on this list, making his Pokemon anime debut in Galar facing Leon. Nothing gets better than that. This guy is an absolute wrecker. Raihan faced Leon and almost beat him. He landed some pretty deadly direct hits too. Raihan joined the World Coronation Series just to fight Leon, and this dude was so skilled that he managed to get up to the top 8 trainers of the whole world. If this doesn't scream, this guy is an absolute beast, then I don't know what does. Some people could argue that Ash or Lance is better than Raihan since he isn't a champion of a league. But I think Raihan could be both of them right now since he's got a burning desire to defeat Leon's undefeated record. And if a man's got a burning desire, it's almost impossible to interfere. Raihan even said in the games that he could be a champion if he left Galar, but he is staying as a Galarian gym leader in order to win against Leon. In my book, Raihan is as good as a champion as any other champion. Third pick is Steven Stone. Steven Stone is an expert on Steel-type Pokemon and a very strong and capable battler. I know I've said very strong battler to like every character on this list, but it's true, especially with Steven. From what we know of Steven in the anime is he likes stones, he has a cool shiny, he is a champion of the Hoenn region, and he's just damn cool. Like I mentioned, Steven owns a shiny Metagross that can Mega Evolve. And you might be thinking, oh that's cool, it's a shiny. But did you know it was about to end Alon's whole career? Well, sadly, we didn't get to see that because the battle was cause. But even at a type disadvantage, this man's Metagross blasted Charizard into a big ass mountain. Mr. Stone, in addition to Metagross, owns an Aggron, who we have seen on screen, and it looked super powerful since it blasted Team Rocket out of a cave into the sky with one hit. Stevie Stone once fought a Primal Kyogre in battle and actually defended pretty well. Of course, you know, he couldn't 1v1 it head on, but the fact that he stood a good chance against it proves again that Stone Steve is not one to mess around with. Number 2 is Cynthia. This was a hard choice, but I believe Cynthia deserves the second spot on this listing since she is one of, if not the best trainers in the Pokemon universe, period. We've barely seen any other of Cynthia's Mons but her Garchomp, but I don't think we need to see anything else but her Garchomp because she's not losing anytime soon. I mean, she does have 2 other Pokemon, that being Gastrodon and Glaceon. However, Gastrodon has only been seen battling twice and Glaceon has never battled. Wait a minute, I just realized that all of Cynthia's Pokemon so far all start with G: Garchomp, Gastrodon, and Glaceon. You know what that means? Gudra time, baby! Gastrodon is pretty strong though. It has fought a trainer that was trying to defeat Cynthia to claim her title, and Gassy Boy defended pretty well. Meanwhile, we're not going to talk about Cynthia's awesome track record of winning battles. Ever since she was introduced, all of her appearances have just been her easily taking care of any other trainer or Pokemon. Elite Four, meh. Trainers here and there, meh. Tobias, meh. Any bad guy team, meh. The list goes on and on. We all love Cynthia because her battling strategy is different than most other challengers. She strikes fast and doesn't want to wear out her or her opponent's Pokemon, which is very respectable. She's always calm during battle and she has a wise demeanor about her, like she knows everything about Pokemon. I wonder how the battle between her and Ash is gonna go in Journeys. I mean, they might not even do a battle considering it's Cynthia, the master of G Pokemon. Honorable mention goes to Dia. Professor Kukui and Palmer also got close to joining the top 10 listings, but I think Dia is a very mysterious / powerful trainer who we know little of. Ash meets Dia in a different universe while in Alola, and when Ash fights him in a match, his Pikachu gets taken down with relative ease by this mysterious character. We discover that Zeraora, Dia's main Pokemon, is just a Pokemon that he befriended, not one he caught. The only reason they are together is that they both have the same goal, which is to destroy Guzzlord. The fact that Dia doesn't even own an actual Pokemon nor battle other trainers signifies that he is determined in whatever goals he is chasing. This man is that determined to wipe out Guzzlord that he even had enough strength to beat Ash. Something tells me that this isn't your everyday trainer, and that's what makes him stand out above the rest, which is why he almost made it onto the list. Although we know so little about him that I can't exactly say he's a quote-unquote good battler, but he's definitely a good trainer in regards to training his Pokemon. Number 1, if you hadn't guessed it already, is Leon. Leon, the main man and the main rival of Ash in Journeys. He is the literal undefeated champion in the anime, maybe not so much in the games if you beat him, which I'm assuming everyone who played the games defeated him. Nope, just me. I'm joking, guys, come on, I beat him. I think if anyone, Leon can outperform everyone previously mentioned on this list. Maybe not Cynthia though, but he's ranked number 1, so yeah. And I'm not surprised he's ranked number 1. I mean, he's got a flippin' Charizard, one of the most famous Pokemon. Not only is Leon's Charizard famous for being a Charizard, but it's perhaps the greatest Charizard, other than Ash's of course, to ever exist. Why? Well, because it's undefeated in battle and can Gigantamax. Leon, like previously referred to earlier in this video, has battled Raihan, probably the most powerful gym leader, Lance, who you know is Lance, and still won against both of them with ease. Leon, who you might know, owns a Dragapult that we see with Ash's Pikachu and Gengar in the Darkest Day arc. We don't really see it much other than when it uses a couple of attacks against Gigantamax Colossal. Leon's character in general is one of his best traits as a battler because he isn't that braggy kind of dude, nor is he quiet or angry. He's just happy and content and really analyzes the situations well. Obviously, he does kind of suck at keeping direction though, since he gets lost almost every episode he's in. And if you've made it this far into the video, then you probably like my content. This is why you should check out my Discord, which I love having people who love Pokemon chat about Pokemon, so go join it. It'll be worth it.